All right. It's my fault. All my fault. It's all my fault, man. Right? This is I had this comment the other week, right? I'm gonna make a whole ass video about this because I want to find out where on the Mortal Kombat bear, right, this man was touched. Now, he could have been joking, but I doubt it. He says, congratulations, you single-handedly dismantled the MK franchise through your constant hypocrisy and criticisms of this game, scaring away potential new players. Just letting this marinate, right? Listen, this is what happens when people take this shit way too serious. Like, I take it serious from the customer level, right? Because from the customer level, okay, right, I'm making sure that the money that I've handed over, I'm getting something in return, something that actually matters. You know, something I can go, you know what, that was money well spent, right? And people like this, right, who say this dumb shit because, you know, and it's a couple of reasons. It's all psychological because they're all, you know, out of their head, right? The reason why these people get like this is because they are so emotionally attached to said product, right? Some people, when they pay for things, they feel like if they admit it's a ripoff or it's let them down, then they'll defend it. They'll defend it to the end of time, even if they know deep down it's a bad game, right? And this also applies to people who have bought something, who do love it, who see no fault, because it's got a dragon logo on the side of the tin. Right? That's the problem we face here today, boys and girls, in the age of stupidity comments like this. Right? Imagine one brain cell. Right? One brain cell. This is what happens when people become way too emotionally attached to stuff, where they can't see reason, where they start calling you a hater, and all of this sort of stuff, because they have invested so much time and energy into said product, or the belief in said developer, or the belief in said corporation. And this isn't just a Mortal Kombat thing. This is any gaming thing. This is what happens, right? These people think that if you're critical of something, it's going to go away, as in, like, you directly are going to affect, you know, the massive financials of this game, right? Now, what I do here, apart from obviously my love of Mortal Kombat and other stuff, is share my mass disdain with what NRS has done to Mortal Kombat, what Ed Boon has done to Mortal Kombat, right? Because at the end of the day, I am a fan of Mortal Kombat. I'm not a fan of NetherRealm. I'm not a fan of Ed Boon. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I'm a fan of John Tobias, and the reason why I'm a fan of John Tobias is because the thing that made me fall in love with Mortal Kombat, outside of the ninjas, which also would have been his design, because he created the characters, is the story, right? And I remember talking to a mate of mine, Jerry, back when I found out, when I first heard the news that John Tobias and Ed Boon, essentially John Tobias, had left. And I knew instantly in that moment that things were going to be bad, right? Now, we've had some pretty good bangers of Mortal Kombat since then, but we've also had very different team to what we have with NRS. NRS was like wiping the slate clean, forgetting the past, denying the past even exists, and trying to rewrite everything and forget that greatness existed in the 2D era, like you can see here, or going all the way, you know, forward to the 3D era, and then of course MK9, right? And again, I didn't care for the combat in the 3D era, right? But everything else felt like Mortal Kombat, right? So when you get comments like this, I think he's probably there's a part of me as well. I think he's probably just messing around, right? Like he's being facetious. But this is not the first time. I've got more comments to cover as well in future videos. This is not the first time I've seen stuff like this, right? Why would I be encouraging people to play dog shit? I won't ever tell you to not buy something. This is where you people get confused, right? And lest we forget, you clicked on my video, you watch my content, and then have a cry about it. I mean, who's the clown here, right? How about you just be a grown-up and give Ronald McDonald his fucking clown shoes back, right? Because clearly, you're a disgrace even to clowns. One brain cell. And we get a comment like that. And how did I turn people away? By telling them the truth from my perspective? Right? Because it is, at the end of the day, what we're doing here is just sharing opinions, right? If we're reporting on a new character or gameplay changes or content or anything like that, yeah, that's factual news. But most of the time we are just sharing our opinion. There have been people in this community that didn't like that Fate had an opinion. Try to make out I was like clickbaiting and rage baiting people. Why is that? Well, I'll tell you the reason why. The only reason why is because my voice was getting out there. Just like many other creators' voices were getting out there. And as soon as you start causing a stir, suddenly these people don't like what you have to say. Now that they can go, oh, maybe he could affect change. As if I'm going to fucking affect change at NetherRealm. Right? Do you really think that the reason why Mortal Kombat 1 is tanking is because of good old Fate? Right? I might pick some shit and be right about it. But it takes an entire mass amount of people to tank something. And we have seen many tankings in the gaming industry for a while now. Why? Because people are more tuned into gaming than they ever were before. They're also, unfortunately, more tuned into the politics of it as well. But then, fortunately, they can make good and educated decisions on about where their money goes. Right? I recently got the new Indiana Jones game. Right? Now, some people were worried it was going to be woke. I think what are their names? Is it Machine Head Games? I don't know what their fucking name is. Anyway, long story short, it looks like the game is going to be an absolute banger. And it is a banger. It seems to be doing very well on Steam. And so I decided to get it. Right? I support good games. That's what I want to do. It's not for everyone. Obviously, some people might go, nah, it's not for me. And that's fine. Right? But this is the great thing about the modern day, is that we can share our opinion. Right? And then people can take that opinion and do whatever they want. You can wipe your fucking ass with it, I don't care. Right? It doesn't bother me, no, never mind. Because at the end of the day, I want you to think for yourself. Now this guy, right, this guy may have thought, like he probably had a singular thought once in his life, right? And then, disappeared, right? But the fact that, now again, he could be funny, he could be just be trolling here, or half trolling. Half of it reads like he's trolling, and the other half actually reads like his feelings are hurt. Right? And it'll probably show up in my video. It'll be like, oh my god, I wrote that. It's like, oh, you just outed yourself, well done. Give him the nose back too. The shoes are gone, give him the fucking nose back. Right? Ronald McDonald, there is only one. Right? And I look at the game. This is the reason why I put Trilogy on here, right? Because it's one of my favorite Mortal Kombat games. But not just that. I see an incredible legacy here. Of great character design, great story, great setup of story, great stages, great stage fatalities, great fatalities. great moves, like special moves and standard, great music, great sound effects. I see the whole picture, right? Now, I don't give a shit if NetherRealm goes under. I don't care if this guy cries till the cows come home, right? Sometimes these companies need to learn, and they need to learn the hard way. And the fact that Chaos Reigns has absolutely tanked in sales, no doubt, right? Now, again, I could be wrong, right? We could come out, they could come out tomorrow and go, by the way, there is still going to be future content, don't stress out. But Ed Boon's real quiet, Warner Brothers is quiet, NetherRealm's quiet. Everyone's fucking quiet. That should be coming out and going, listen, it's not, it's all fine. And somebody said the other day that I think they're dragging it out. I think they're dragging this out so that way people will just, they'll just wait and they'll wait and they'll wait and they'll wait and they'll wait, and then in a few months' time they'll be like, yeah, we had to cancel support. But don't forget to go check out Mortal Kombat 2 coming out next year. Dog shit sequel to the dog shit movie that came out in 2021. Right? I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they actually waited that long so that people would go to the movie and then come out and go, yeah, we're not doing no more content. They have no idea what they're doing with Mortal Kombat. They just have no fucking clue. And guys like that sheep I just showed you defend all of these bad decisions, defend the bad business practices, maybe, but they definitely defend the bad decisions when it comes to the direction of the game. Why? Because they're probably so fucking young. They grew up in the NRS era, which is really tragic, right? Like, that's really tragic. That's being born like being born with no dick, right? And I'm not talking about women when I say that. I'm saying you're a man born with no dick, right? If you're born in the 3D era, you might have kept your testicles, alright? But the greatest singular era to have been, to experience Mortal Kombat is the 2D era, in my humble and very forceful opinion. Because, some people get real sensitive. Anyway, let me know what you think. Catch you next time.